I hired a young woman named Sophia to clean the house while my family was away, and about an hour later she called me, whispering urgently, "Ma'am, is anyone else here?" My blood ran cold as I replied, "No, why?" And she hesitated before saying, "There's a woman upstairs," leaving me trembling as I told her to leave now, after which I called the police and raced home. If you're reading this tale of betrayal, share where you're from in the comments. I want to see how far it spread. That morning, I planned to tidy the house myself before the humid coastal rains returned, making everything feel grimy, standing by the living room window with a rag in hand, ready to start when my phone buzzed. It was Leela, my old childhood friend I hadn't seen in years, her voice bright as she was passing through Charleston, South Carolina and wanted coffee. Memories flooding back of us running through meadows and sharing secrets late into the night. So how could I refuse despite the mess looming? Then I thought of Sophia Hayes, the college student down the street, slender, polite, needing cash for tuition, who agreed eagerly, and I instructed her to dust the library, scrub the staircase, and handle my husband Marcus's antique bookshelves with care before leaving a key and heading to the Oak Shade Cafe. Under the ancient oaks, Leela shared updates on her urban life and grown kids, while I spoke of Marcus, his success as a novelist, and my quiet routine, laughter flowing until my phone rang. Sophia, expecting her to say she was done, but her breath was ragged as she whispered in panic, "Mrs. Elena, is someone else in the house?" My pulse stopped as I said, "No, I'm out and Marcus is at his publisher till evening. What's wrong?" And after silence, she replied, "I saw a woman on the second floor, long white dress, wild hair. She glided down the hall into the end room." Ice gripped me, thinking burglar in our secure 80-year-old home. So I cut short with Leela, apologizing for the emergency, and told Sophia to exit now, lock up, and wait outside as I'm coming, dialing police en route with a shaking voice describing the intruder. But Sophia didn't pick up my follow-up calls, each ring amplifying my dread as Charleston streets dragged endlessly while I sped. Arriving, a squad car waited with Sophia huddled on the steps, pale and eyes wide, so I hugged her asking if she was okay, and she nodded mutely as officers, a stern veteran and a rookie, emerged saying they'd searched everywhere with no one and no break-in signs, doors locked and windows intact, relief mixing with unease as Sophia stammered she swore the woman looked unreal like a shadow and she wouldn't go upstairs again, me consoling her but doubt creeping in about this old inherited house from Marcus's family, always feeling secretive with its creaks and dim corners. Marcus's car pulled up, surprised by the scene, listening as I explained, but smiling oddly and patting Sophia's shoulder, saying, "Probably tired, dear. Old houses trick the eyes with light and shadows." Sophia bowing her head while I eyed Marcus. Sophia wasn't imaginative, she was reliable, but his calm sowed seeds of self-doubt. So I thanked police, paid Sophia, and promised to call if needed. 3 months later, retirement hit with no more office rush, just the house and insomnia plaguing me as nights stretched filled with attic noises. At first, faint thuds like dropped items that I blamed on wind or settling wood, then clearer scraping, furniture, pacing footsteps, rustling pages, and over breakfast I told Marcus, "Honey, attic sounds like someone's up there." But he yawned, newspaper in hand, saying, "Rats, Elena, old attics are rodent havens." And he'd set traps. He did, placing snap traps by the ladder, and noises vanished, bringing relief. But oddities persisted as I bought peppery salami, my spicy favorite. Marcus loathed heat, wrapped and refrigerated for later, but mourning a chunk gone with ragged cut, so I asked if he tried the salami and he frowned, saying felt adventurous, it was decent, stunning me since Marcus avoided spice like poison. And days later it vanished entirely with no questions asked as unease grew. A Saturday trip to Savannah with Marcus for friends had us home late to a silent house, but upstairs bathroom floor soaked, with droplets on shower walls, no one home, so I called Marcus, "Bathroom's wet like a recent shower," and he shrugged saying rain through the vent but streets were dry. And I said no rain, annoyed as he replied, "Pipe leak, then I'll call a plumber," though he didn't, floor dried with no issues. Noises, missing food, water, fragments nagged as I cleaned Marcus's library with oak shelves crammed with tomes. Sorting papers, a stack fell jarring open a stuck drawer inside a worn leather journal in feminine script. Not Marcus's, since he despised handwriting, always digital. Pages with story ideas mirroring his novel's themes. A lone woman in a village buried secrets. Heart pounding, wondering coincidence since Marcus hated pens. This was another's. I hit it back, sleepless, with midnight creak in hall and attic door ajar, musty draft. So I woke Marcus, saying doors open, and grumbling he checked, closed tight, saying, "You're stressed, Elena, imagining things." Back to bed, as doubt turned inward. Lately, Marcus worked nights in his study, saying manuscripts tricky, sleep first. But one night, thirsty at 1 a.m., bed empty, study vacant, calling his name, no reply. Then stairs silhouette descending, barefoot, clean plate in hand, plate shattering as I asked, "What were you doing upstairs?" And he stalled, saying, "Stuck on the book, needed quiet, got hungry." Clean plate? Pressure from the editor, Mr. Caldwell? Sure, but suspicion bloomed. Morning air heavy as Marcus emerged, suited, suitcase ready, saying, "Heading to Savannah for inspiration, sudden, no plans." So I asked, "Why now?" And monotone he said, "Idea struck," before leaving, gripping my shoulder, saying, "Let no one in, especially from the publisher. If Caldwell comes, say I'm away, return unknown." Warning or threat. 2 hours later, doorbell, Caldwell an assistant impatient, so I opened despite orders, as Caldwell barged in saying, "I know Marcus is here, manuscript is overdue," and I parroted, "He's seeking inspiration, unsure when back," but he sneered, "Neighbors see attic light nightly, if working deliver," with assistant saying, "We can help with block." Attic light? We avoided it. Composure held as I ushered them out, mind racing noises, food, water, journal, plate, light, all attic. Determination surged as from shed I hauled dusty ladder to hall. Rusty latch yielded dank air. Flashlight pierced gloom, boxes shrouded furniture, webs, far corner table, rickety chair, flickering lamp. Woman sat back, turned, emaciated, tangled white hair, faded dress, pencil scratch. So I said, "Who's there?" And she whirled, gaunt face, familiar eyes, world spun. "Clara, my sister, vanished 30 years. Stacks of manuscripts, cans, bottles, blanket, bucket, captive's lair. Sister, Elena, tears as I collapsed, then helped her down, sobs racking us." In the living room, I settled Clara in an armchair, fetching water as her hand shook, and I steadied the glass while she wept, body quaking, and I held her silent until calmer. She spoke hoarsely, "Sister, I never dreamed we'd meet like this." And gently I asked what happened, why here? With her tale piercing like shards, as 30 years ago editor Victor Hargrove summoned her to his apartment for work, but drunk he assaulted her, and defending she struck with a statue. He fell dead, head on table. Panicked, Clara froze until Marcus arrived, claiming a dinner invite, and calmly said, "Prison awaits. Let me help." For Elena, burying Victor in remote woods by the Altamaha River and hiding Clara in our attic temporarily, he said, but it endured. As Marcus spread rumors, Clara and Victor eloped, backed by Victor's cash withdrawal, so the world believed an investigation fizzled while I mourned, thinking her fled, and Marcus's career boomed, our wealth, fame. But Clara's words, "I didn't know," I whispered, rage building. Attic hell, fear, guilt, isolation. To cope, she wrote escapes to free worlds, but Marcus found them, eyes gleaming, "Write for me, I'll be your voice." So he quit accounting, discovered writing, though friends puzzled he'd shown no interest. Truth, thief, stealing Clara's genius. Ghostwriting, literally. And she wanted surrender, but Marcus threatened, "Elena suffers. Your crime, my complicity, ruins her." Love for me trapped her, and retirement complicated. Quick showers went out, night raids for food, clumsy traces like water salami. While novels' archaic feel, Clara's frozen world, no tech, letters waiting souls, mirrored her tragedy. So I wept for ignored signs. "I can't anymore," Clara said, "face justice, painful." But I nodded together. Next dawn, I dressed her in my clothes, loose on her frame, and we talked world changes, gadgets, losses, as she marveled at passing scenes en route to station. So different. And I squeezed her hand. "I'm here." And at precinct, mentioning Clara Whitlock disappearance, attitude shifted. As an interrogation room, Clara confessed assault, accidental death, Marcus's cover-up, 30-year imprisonment. Officers stunned, files reopened, attics searched, evidence collected, and Wood's team unearthed remains, Victor's DNA confirmed. With warrant for Marcus, ambush at home, neighbor Mr. Jenkins saw no fight, just resignation, emptiness.
best lawyer for Clara, self-defense plea, manipulation, time served, hoped clemency. As I prepped visits, clothes, books, favorites, book call, Clara Whitlock suicided last night, phone dropped, world shattered, with letter left, now free, survived, writing, but ghosts no more. Truth spoken, final manuscript in attic box, published as Lucia Whitlock, and I clutched it, tears soaking. Lucia, her dreamed pen name. Trial Charleston, ghostwriter scandal, media frenzy, Clara's captivity, stolen talent, evidence overwhelming, Marcus confessed copyright theft, false imprisonment, conspiracy, obstruction, harsh sentence. No relief for me. Avoided court, he died in my heart, discovery day. House haunted by memories, returned to attic, found box handwritten autobiography, childhood joys, dreams, fatal night, attic endurance, edited weeks, tears flowing at loneliness passages, masterpiece of resilience. Publisher hesitated, scandal wary, but manuscript swayed. Will honor her. Released as Clara Whitlock, dedication, no one deserves dark imprisonment, especially freedom lovers. Phenomenon. Readers touched, old Marcus works reissued as Clara's righting wrongs, attic cleaned, now library, sunlit, her books shelved as I gaze out, feeling her free, in pages my heart. Names, places altered for privacy, not judgment, but reflection, silent sufferings. What would you do? Silence for peace or confront for voice? Share thoughts. Every tale lights paths. God bless. Courage leads better.
Truth's walls crumble, lies rot like dust. Clara taught that silence cruels guilt, while fear ghosts existence. So face truth and speak trembling for freedom from darkness and rest for souls. If moved, comment your city to support by a thanks for more tales. See recommended stories on screen and subscribe. Love and respect. Months post-trial, I wandered Charleston streets with Clara's autobiography, now a bestseller, in my bag. Readers' letters pouring in like inspired by her resilience or one that pierced, faced my own silence thanks to Clara, warming my heart as her voice echoed through strangers' lives. The house sold, too haunted by ghosts of betrayal. I moved to a quiet cottage where the garden bloomed vibrantly, the kind of simple, sunlit life Clara had craved during her endless attic nights. Her attic library items donated to a museum exhibit titled Ghostwriter's Legacy, drawing visitors who learned her story, reflected on hidden truths, and left notes of their own quiet courage. Marcus, rotting in prison with no contact from me. Forgiveness? No, though betrayal's raw scar had faded to a tender ache, not fully erased, a reminder of love's fragility. Unclear nights, I read her words aloud by candlelight, feeling her presence whisper, "Free, sister." And yes, we both were now. Stories end, but lessons eternal. Dare to bring light into shadows. Reclaim your voice before it's forever silenced.